very warm welcome to you on Rise and Shine on this Palm Sunday. In this next half hour, I'm going to share to you from John's Gospel as it tells of Jesus' walk into Jerusalem. We're very glad to have a very exciting singer, Debbie Ann Bax, on our Rise and Shine stage today. And for those who've been watching for the past 2 weeks, we've been hearing about mission work and great servants of God working in the Middle East and in Africa. Today we'll talk with someone who's very closely associated with our Asian brothers and sisters right here in the sprawling city of Sydney and now far beyond in New South Wales. I'm very pleased to welcome Alfred of the New South Wales Asian Evangelistic Fellowship to our show. Yes. Good to have you.
Yes.
But, you know, I've got to begin in a different place because if you're my age, I want to talk about your very famous uncle.
Yes.
Because if you're my age, in the early 1970s, Bruce Lee was a real, almost hero cult figure for many people. Enter the Dragon, all those kind of films, and that amazing jumping about 150 feet in the air and down.
Yes.
I mean, he was a real person, wasn't he? Was he that popular where you came from, back in Hong Kong, as well as in Europe and America?
Well, yes, I think he's not only your hero, he's also our heroes, my heroes.
Yeah.
That age in 70s, I think he's popular everywhere, especially in Hong Kong.
Look, I think one thing that he did was he came into North American and European culture predominantly at that time.
Yes.
And for the first time, somebody from an Asian culture burst into that scene, didn't have to change to become in any way Western in that sense.
Yes.
And he, with that kung fu and all that went with it, it was a quite amazing journey.
Yes, I think because he was studied in a Western education, Hong Kong, and also in the US. So I think his kung fu is really mixed with the Oriental cultures and the Western cultures. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, tell us about what happened in 1973. I don't know how old he was. Quite young, wasn't he, when he died? It was making that film.
Yes.
But how old was he when he died?
I think, from my memory, he was 32.
32.
Yeah.
What did that do to you? Because you've talked about you and I, but for you in a very special way, he was clearly a hero because he was a personal hero to you. What was it like when you heard that news?
Well, I was very young, just in my primary age. I think year 1 or year 2. I remember one day my mom took me to a funeral. So I was shocked. I asked my mom, why am I going? Where am I going? Then when I was in the funeral, I see Bruce was there. I thought that was just a part of the movie. But when I see his real person is there, so I think he's died. But just a week before I saw him, or he just Bruce is always up and down, side kicking. But on that funeral, it's really touched my heart.
Now tell me how that impacts upon the way you understand God and faith, because you really have a great hero destroyed in your mind,
yes.
you know, and
yes.
you go and talk later about he's my Iron Man, my superhero. Years later you say, I found my real superhero in Jesus Christ.
Yes. Because of this, that image come to my heart, come to my eyes. And I've been asking why men will die. Well, will I be the same one day? So even in that age. So, I further my study in Canada. I still purchase and look for my life. But one day I was asked by non-Christian friends, go to a crusade, and the pastors there, it's just talk about what's so good for man to win the world but lost his life. That brings me the memory of Bruce. He was so success. So under that, when he called, I say, just lay down your life to him. I just respond. So that's a real impact to me. Yes.
Now, you're involved in ministry now, particularly to people from an Asian background, either new into Australia or Australian-born but with Asian background.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about that work.
Well, that's an open door. God is allow us to contact the Asian parents from the local public school. That we never thought about that, but it's a really a good opportunity. So now I'm the community representative of the school council, and in the time we run a program for the Asian parents, we have fun together. We have a cooking class, learn all about all the Aussie from doing cooking, cultures, and also we learn all the slang that we heard. We don't laugh. Yes.
You actually learn all about Australian slang.
Yes,
Dear. We're trying to unlearn all that sort of stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Tell me then, really, because I'm interested. We have a Chinese congregation and an international congregation.
Yes.
What is it in the Asian culture that we ought to know if we're trying to be serious about commending the gospel to others?
Yeah, I think as a migrants, I think more we need friendship. We need to know where we can find good environment, because a lot of families, they bring their children to come. Education is very essential to us, really why we are moving here. But if we can help us to know about more than that, cultures, and also to parenting, marriage. Yeah, we're coming from an Asian background. From this point of building up a connection, a relationship, so we can have a further to talk about Christ to them.
There's great respect for education, isn't there, in your culture?
Yes. Well, I think a lot of migrants, a lot of people move here. This is our goal. We want our children to have a better education. Yeah, but sometimes maybe we not understand why the Aussie is doing the way different from us. I'll give you an example. Is my daughter, when she came here, we always talk about how come she can put her fingers up and do the math. But now, we just by memorization, things on. So the learning, the way is different.
The methods of learning are different.
Yeah.
Tell me, because I think this is important for us, what are the blockages or the things that are make it tough for an Asian finding Christ?
Things on the way, if they come from a non-Christian background, this is new to them. But like me, I'm coming from the Hong Kong. Churches is common everywhere, but for those who coming from like China, that's first time to contact or connect to the Christian community. Yeah.
And through the last few weeks, we've been talking about different parts of the world. We've honed in on Africa and certainly the Middle East.
Yes.
And how is it that Asia has some of the most exciting Christian growth as well?
Yes, you mean in the Asian...
and in China and in Southeast Asian countries. There's some exciting stories, aren't there?
Yes. But we want to build up more strong faith in God. And a lot of the churches are growing fast, but we have to help them to know more about the Bible, the biblical stand, understand more about the Bibles. And in the Southeast Asia, also from our network, the Asia Evangelistic Fellowship, we help to rise up the locals, the national leaders, to do the church plant in the local areas. Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to hear from somebody who we began with a superhero figure, but you clearly proclaim the one person for whom you put your trust in, Jesus Christ, and is the hero of people from all cultures.
Yes.
We want to think about your work as you go forward. Thank you for sharing it with us, and thank you for touching the community and touching the world with your love and compassion and your sense of eagerness to serve God. God bless your work and your fellowship here in Australia.
Yes.